You are welcome back to my channel. This is a tutorial on how to sharpen super hard manual sharpening stone. We have different type of original super hard manual sharpening stone, but this one is one of it. Can you see? I've been using this one for long, but it has been dull. I've dropped it for a while, so I want to resharpen it now. I want you to follow me step by step the way you can sharpen super hard manual sharpening stone. Can you see it? So I've been using this one over 20 years now. Let me drop it down. Let me pick another one. Can you see this one too? They are the same type. Very heavy, very hard, very strong. It is very hard to sharpen. Yeah. This is one of the instruments to use. This is hammer. Can you see? This is iron hammer. Very strong. Can you see it? This is transcore. We use this one to gauge the surface, the inner surface of the super hard manual sharpening stone. We use this size to gauge. Yeah, this is our broom. What we use broom for when we start, you will see it. This is our packer. Can you see? This is the packer. Then this is the igneous rock. This is igneous rock. So because of the hardness of the super hard manual sharpening stone, that is why I want to use this. I use gravel at times for the soft stones, but this one is very hard. I will now drop it down, break them into pieces. Let's go into the field now. Can you see the way I'm blocking them? Can you see it? See the way I'm breaking them into pieces. Can you see the way I've broken them into pieces? Let me put this one down. Let me put this one here. Then can you see the way I'm breaking the igneous rock into pieces? You need to be very extra careful because of your hand, so that the hammer will not give you the injury. Can you see the way I'm doing it? Show me your hand.
Oh my dear.
Okay, baby.
Hello.
Okay. So can you see the way I'm breaking them into pieces? can you see the way I've broken the stone, the ignorant rock into pieces? I've broken them into pieces. You see the way I've broken them into pieces. There's one thing you have to take note. The surface you want to do it have to be flattened. You have to measure it with your rule so that to be flattened. Can you see the surface? So you spread it here like this. See the surface of the stone. Can you see it? This is the surface you want to grind. See this surface now. Can you see the way I do it? Put it in your hand.
Oh, my son,
So cover, can you?
cover.
Now, as you do, you gauge the surface. As you do, you gauge the surface. So as you do, you gauge the surface. See the way I position my transquar on the surface of the super hard, inner surface of the super hard modern sapling stone. You now gauge it in this way. You watch whether the surface is flattening or the surface is not flattening. Can you see it? You check for this side, you check for here, then you check for the center. So let us do for the other side too, this side. Aja membawa. Udah baik, banyak kok dia boleh. Yeah, you are welcome back. You see that sharpening stone I've just sharpened finished outside now. I want to bring out the surface that will be sharpening the clipper blade. Can you see the inner surface I'm touching now? You see that ruler transfer in my hand. You see the place I'm touching. So I'm going to use that side to test the top. When the top is flattened, the top of that sharpening stone is flattened, then the next thing now is to fashion out the sharpening surface on the super hard manual sharpening stone. Yeah, can you see the way I position it on the super hard manual sharpening stone? That first side, the top is flattened. The second side, the top is flattened, but I will only use one side to teach you. I will only use one side to fashion out the sharpening surface so that you will follow me step by step and follow the way I do it. See the way I'm testing. When you place your transfer on it, straight ruler, that's iron ruler. When you place it on it and you look under the ruler, if there is no gap, which means the top surface are being flattened. So the next one now, the next thing to do, you follow me now. That is the bottom clipper blade. You look for the chowbar clipper blade. That is one of the most strongest blades so far in this world. You see the way I'm applying the thick oil on the inner part of the super hard manual. After application of the oil, then you use one of your finger to spread the thick oil. You may use light oil, you may use thick oil. So you use your finger to spread the oil evenly on the surface of the super hard manual sharpening stone. After, you now take the blade, especially you look for chowbar. Chowbar is very, very strong. If there's no chowbar, you can use another blade too, but use bigger blade. Any bigger blade you use, you see the one you see the one I'm showing you now. Can you see the way all these blades? You use bottom blade to bring out or to fashion out the sharpening surface on the super hard manual sharpening stone. Can you see? So try to watch me carefully. See the way, that is number one thing you have to do. You place it, you clean the surface very well after you apply the thick or light oil without mixing any kerosene with it. Then you now use the bottom clipper blade. Can you see the way I'm going to and fro? You can't, for one side if you can like to and fro 30 times. Then for the other side too, you can count to and fro 30 times again. Then you'll be using zigzag movement. When you watch my tutorial, you can see what I mean by zigzag movement. When you start by one side, you'll be going to and fro, going towards the other side. Then from the other side now, you'll be going back to the side you have come from. So that is how you continue going to and fro to make sure the inner surface of the super hard manual sharpening stone is flattened. Yeah, can you see it? Those are the processes. I've sharpened for that side, going to and fro 10 times from one side to the other. Then I'm going to do for the other side too. That is the oil again. So you try to put that oil. You may mix the kerosene with the oil together. When you mix it together, all are the same. What you are trying to bring out is to fashion out the sharpening surface on the super hard manual sharpening stone. That is the process. Number one process is the one I did outside using the igneous or granite or gravel stone. When you just break into pieces, you now use the surface you want to sharpen. You look for a flat concrete floor, flat one. So after that one, now you break the stone into pieces. You see the way I did it. You use the surface of the super hard manual surface stone you want to sharpen. You now use it to rub it. You rub it very well so that you bring the surface of the super hard manual sharpening stone flatten, very, very flatten. Yeah, can you see it now? So I've used one side, use the other side, use one side, use the other side. Now I've cleaned the surface of the inner part of the bottom clipper blade. I'm trying to apply another oil again to make sure the top of the super hard manual sharpening stone is flattened very well. Yeah, the process is gradual, but once you can follow it, you are going to result into better. But what my own advice for you, if you want to do this kind of thing, find like 2 or 3 stones. So do for about 2 or 3 stones, first side and the second side. So when you blend the 3 finish, the 6 surfaces finish, actually you may be lucky to get 2 or 3 surfaces done very well properly. So that you can use them to sharpen clipper blade. If you are not a professional, you say you want to sharpen only one side, it's by luck. So my advice for you now is to be using about at least two or 3 super hard manual sharpening stone to do the process. So can you see the way I'm doing it step by step? That is how you continue doing it with the bottom clipper blade. Tick one, tick one, tick one. So can you see the way I'm doing it? So by doing it this way, when you first do the first one, you check the inner surface. You check the inner surface of the clipper blade you are using to smoothen the surface. So when you do for the first one, you clean. You use for the second one, you clean. You do for the third one, you clean. Then the more you are sharpening, so the more you are sharpening now, you'll be checking the inner surface of the blade, clipper blade you are sharpening. If the clipper blade is sharpening correctly, if the stone is getting to the sharpening point that can sharpen correctly now, now can sharpen correctly. So that is how you'll be using zigzag movement. What do I mean by zigzag movement? You'll be going wobbly from one side. You go front towards the right, you go front towards the right, you come back towards the right. After you reach the edge of the right hand side, you now come in the same way back to the left hand side again. That is how you'll be repeating it, so that the bottom clipper blade you are using to bring out or to fashion out the sharpening surface on the super hard manual sharpening stone will likely to cover the whole surface of the super hard manual sharpening stone. You know, this one has been soaked now. You see, I've tried to replace the masking tape back. Can you see it? Don't try to forget the application of the oil, either thick light or the kerosene. So but that biscuit bone, you need to look for it. You need to look for that biscuit bone. You need to look for it. Find another another sharpening stone, light one, very very light. So that is how you will continue. That is how you will continue. You see the masking tape has removed again. So those are the challenges person normally face when you are using masking tape that is not having stronger gums. So the way I'm sharpening now, I'm trying to check this stone now has been sharpened correctly. Yeah, it's giving me the good job. But when you follow me up in the front, I still use that biscuit bone. I always use it in a way for you to be able to understand the way to use biscuit bone. Try to look for it. Try to look for it. Yeah, you try to look for it. I'm trying to fashion out continuous fashioning of the surface that will be sharpening the the clipper blades. Can you see the way I'm moving my hand? Yeah, you see the way I'm trying to fashion out. That is the way to fashion out the sharpening surface on the super hard manual sharpening stone. So the more you sharpen, you are fashioning the sharpening surface out, the more you be checking the inner part of the blade you are using to fashion out the sharpening surface on the super hard manual sharpening stone. So when you use one side to fashion out, you see use the other side of the blade to fashion out. Then those stay in one place, you'll be moving from one place to the other, one place to the other, one place to the other. So and the more you are fashioning out the sharpening surface, the more you'll be checking the inner surface of the blade you are using. So it is that blade that will give you the assurance whether the stone has been fashioned out correctly, because the surface of the inner part of the blade you are sharpening will now be showing you correct work. That is where you'll be checking. You see, I've used the bottom clipper blade to fashion out, and I've discovered the bottom clipper blade is sharpening correctly. Then now I'm now using the top clipper blade now. You see the sellotape has removed. I need to put another one there. That masking tape I'm using is not so strong at all. So, but my advice for you is that if you want to enjoy this kind of work now, you need to go and look for correct masking tape. Correct masking. So I'm trying to replace another masking tape at the back of the upper clipper blade. I'm using it to fasten out the sharpening surface at the same time sharpening the clipper blade. So when you know how to sharpen clipper blade before, you are a professional before, but only your stone is having problem. You are now to fashion it out. You know the way to sharpen the clipper blade. You should be using the same process to fashion out the sharpening surface on the super hard manner sharpening stone at the same time sharpening the clipper blade you are using. So you are doing two things at the same time. Yeah, can you see the masking tape is not good at all, but I'm managing it. I'm managing it. I'm trying to check. I'm trying to check. I'm applying the oil on the surface again. So I'm trying to show you now the inner surface of the upper clipper blade I've used to fashion out the sharpening surface on the super hard manner sharpening stone at the same time sharpening the clipper blade. Can you see that everything has shined across? It is a very tedious work. Yeah, but I'm advising you, if you want to do this kind of work now, make sure you have about at least two original stones, so that you do for the four surfaces. Yeah, when you use the four surfaces to scrub the ground very well, you use that to scrub, you now fashion out for the four. You may be lucky to get three working or two working, but if you are facing only one, at times you might be unlucky to get it right at the same time. But when you are trying to fashion like two or three at the same time, or four surfaces at the same time, you may be lucky to get at least two working. Yeah, at worst you get one working. So that is my advice for you as a beginner. If you want to do this kind of processing now, try to use two stones, at least two stones or three stones, which means when you use one stone, two surfaces. You use two stones, four surfaces. You use three stones, six surfaces. You now use them, you now sharpen for the six surfaces. Now try to fashion out for the six surfaces. Know how you must get at least three or four working, or you may get all working. At worst you get two or one working, so you'll be okay. Then you can now be doing for the rest little by little. So my advice for you to start with two surfaces. You sharpen for the first side, you sharpen for the other side too. Then you now to fashion out the sharpening surface on the first side. At the same time, when you finish, you try it for the second one too, so that anyhow you must have to get at least two or three surfaces working correctly. So don't base on one surface as a learner. Don't use only one surface of the stone to be learning. Sharpen like three surfaces, four surfaces, five surfaces, six surfaces at a time. Sharpen them together. When you sharpen like six, five, at least four, or if you are using only one stone, sharpen the two sides. Try to fashion out the sharpening surface on the two sides. Know how you must have to get one working correctly. So anyone that you get working correctly, you'll be using that one. Then anytime you are chance again, you'll be repeating for the second one that is not working right until you get it right again. Those are the systems to use as a learner. Yeah, but when you become a professional very well, you can base on one phase and get it right. So can you see the what I'm using to rub the surface of the super hard manner sharpening stone? That is what they call biscuit bone. You see that thing I've used finish, biscuit bone. It's a sharpening stone, soft one. Go to where you buy the original one. Tell them you are looking for soft one, the one that when you use it to rub the surface of this one, it will be scrubbing, it will be chopping, you be putting some small sand on top of the super hard manner sharpening stone. You look for that one too. So when you put your oil finish, you put your kerosene finish, you mix it together, you now use that soft one to scrub the surface of the stronger one. After that one, after the process, you now use it to sharp. It is used to sharpen correctly. It is used to speed up the rate of chemical reaction. Yeah, still use that system too. so that you get it right. At least anyhow you must get at least 2 or 3 faces working correctly for you. Yeah, try to get me right. The kerosene mistakenly opened the cover, so everything just split on the ground, on the table, on the sharpening stone. I'm trying to clean it up. So I'm still repeating again. I'm still repeating it again. You know that I've used biscuit bone on the surface now. Try to look for the soft, super hard manual sharpening stone, soft one, not stronger one. You have gotten the stronger one, then go and look for soft one again. When you sharpen your surfaces of the super hard manual sharpening stone finish, you now use oil on kerosene on top. You now use that soft one to scrub the surface. It will now drop some small sand on the surface of your super hard manual stone. After that dropping of the stone, you now use your blade to sharpen. It will give you correct sharpening too. That's another process again. Yeah, that's another process again. After you have sharpened the clipper blade, you have checked with your eyes that the work is correct. You now use freehand testing styling method to check again. So when you use this style to check, you can be able to see the work you have done, whether this one will give you the sign. It will show you the signs whether the clipper blade is sharpened correctly or it's not sharpened correctly. If it is sharpened correctly, which means the surface of the super hard manual sharpening stone you are trying to fashion out is now giving you correct job. So it's now giving you correct job. Know how you have to be using it for your own work. Yeah, which means you have achieved the correct sharpening on the inner surface of the super hard manual sharpening stone you are using. Yeah, this one is okay now. This stone now I've just bring back to life now. I've used it more than 3 years ago.